Auditory pathway. The afferent fibers in the auditory division of 8th cranial nerve is the first order neuron, and it ends in the dorsal and ventral cochlear nucleus. So there are three sets of fibers from this level, that is the second order neurons. The first is dorsal cochlear nucleus. The second order fibers cross to the opposite side from here and ascend and end in inferior colliculus. There will be many collaterals given to the reticular formation. From here, third order neurons arise and they end in the medial geniculate body of the same and also of the opposite side. From here, fourth order neurons arise, they end in the auditory cortex, that is primary auditory area 41, association area 20, 21 and 22. Some fibers from the ventral cochlear nucleus, which forms the second order neurons, cross to the opposite side, they end in the trapezoid body. From here, third order neuron arises, they end in the inferior colliculus, and the fourth order neurons arises from the inferior colliculus, they go to the medial geniculate body, so there won't be any relay to end, and ultimately they end in the auditory cortex. Then from some fibers from the ventral cochlear nucleus, which forms the second order neurons, end in the superior olivary nucleus. From here, third order neuron arises, they end in the medial geniculate body, which also gives collaterals to the inferior colliculus and reticular formation. From here, fourth order neuron arises, they end in the auditory cortex. So this is the diagram showing the auditory pathway, which are going to form mainly the dorsal cochlear nuclei and ventral cochlear nuclei. So dorsal cochlear nuclei, the second order neuron arises from here, they goes to the superior colliculi, and from superior colliculi it is going to go to the both the sides of medial geniculate bodies. From there, fourth order neuron goes to the cortex. If you see the ventral cochlear nucleus, some of the fibers, they goes to the trapezoid body, and from the trapezoid body the third order neuron arises, they are going to go to the lateral geniculate body, medial geniculate body. From there they go to the auditory cortex, and some of the fibers from the ventral cochlear nucleus, they go to the olivary superior olivary nucleus of the same side, then they are going to ascend in the same side to end in superior colliculus. From there the information goes to the auditory cortex. Efferent pathway. Some fibers from cortex descend and ends in outer hair cells. Neurotransmitter released here is acetylcholine. Although these inhibitory fibers end in outer hair cells, they actually modify the activity of the inner hair cells. Salient features of the pathway are: there is a bilateral representation due to the extensive crossing of the fibers, and there is also descending pathway, and there occurs integration of visual and auditory impulses due to the connection between superior and inferior colliculus, and general arousal also is possible with this pathway as it gives collaterals to the reticular